Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I'm back with another exciting haul video, and back with more romance. I know that a lot of you flock to these videos to see the cool romance books, and today I've got a bunch of them. Some things that you don't see very often, some other things that we've seen a little too often because I accidentally got a bunch of doubles. But some really cool books came in, and so let's just jump right into it. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you something really weird and unusual that I was really excited to get. It's not a comic book, but it's something that's really neat. But first, let's start with this. I got this lot of romance comics. This is a build your own lot because there was a dealer who had a book that I really wanted at a price I liked, and I knew I was going to buy it. So then I went through all of their other books so I could combine shipping and ended up buying a bunch of stuff. So I created this lot myself. Here's the one that I bought in particular that I really wanted. It's Young Love number 85. It's a nice copy. They have it listed as a fine minus. The price was really good on all of these. So this was just $8 for this one. And so for this book in that price, in this condition, is really a great pickup. I'm really excited about, particularly because this one's a little bit harder to get than the others. It's a little more expensive. It's one of the romance covers with a black character. DC started doing this at the time. They would have less so black characters in the stories, but they started putting them on the covers. And so this is one of those. I really dig the unusual color scheme in the logo with the sort of the two tones of pink. It's just a really cool book. Really excited to get that. Heartthrobs 126. They have this listed as the VG, and I think that's fair. It's a really solid book, though. Really presents nicely. I might have it. I might have it a little higher. VG plus at least. Girls Love 143. I like this era of the logo. What kind of girl am I? I don't even know his name, and I don't care. I just want his kisses. Love from a stranger. Oh yeah, getting saucy. Not as saucy as this one. I've seen this cover a bunch of times. I thought I already had it, but I didn't. It's Girls Love Stories 157. So this is my new stepmother. Welcome home, Mom. Jeremy. Yep, that's right. She previously had a relationship with the son. That's DC at its best. DC, they started to loosen up a little bit around this time. Here is Falling in Love 108. Sure, I love you, honey, but I've got to marry Mia after what I did to her. He doesn't know that Mia can overhear this. She's in a wheelchair. There was a whole bunch of covers around this time where there's characters in wheelchairs in various states of being upset because of that. It was sort of a thing for a little bit. I have to guess that one of them sold well, so they just did a bunch of them. In fact, it's Falling in Love 120. Check it out. We're combining a couple other tropes from the previous books we just looked at, because not only do we have a character in a wheelchair, we have a black character saying, after what you did to my friend, she needs love, not pity. Get out. Is that a sequel to this one? Blondes in wheelchairs. In both cases, the guy is there for pity and not love. I'm going to have to read these and find out if that's a sequel. Pretty sure it's not. But these are all really nice. They're mid-grade books, but they're very tight. They're clean. They're the way we like them. Speaking of what we like, here is Love Diary number 66. This has been on my radar for a while because it's got a Jim Aparo cover. He did just a handful of these romance covers, just a handful. But here's a really cool one. And he does his own lettering. Stop it. I don't love you. I never loved you. I've read enough of these to know that she's lying. She's lying. She did love you. I don't know what your name is. I'm going to call you Jim. I'm going to pretend that this is, he drew himself into this. Ripped from the headlines. Jim, she does love you. Don't let her give that ring back. There's a misunderstanding. She's doing it out of a misguided. Anyway, Secret Romance number 3. This is another one that's been on my radar. And the price is, this is like $4. That's what the sticker says. It might have even been less. Trudy, darling, will be married as soon as... Ah, the pain! Such pain! No, that's always cracked me up because he doesn't look like he's in that much pain. It must be what Helen warned me about. He might die in my arms. Only one day of ecstasy. Such pain! It's great. Finally, the magazine that dares to tell the truth. It's Confessions of the Lovelorn, number 98. A bit lower grade on these, but frankly, I'll take these in any condition I can get them in as long as they're complete. It's one where there's a woman watching a romantic movie. There's quite a few of these covers where someone is watching, a woman usually is watching a movie and seeing the thing on the screen. There's also a lot where there's actresses who are kissing their co-stars, and the co-star is just acting, but she's actually falling in love. But yeah, there's a little subgenre of people watching romantic movies. So I love the ACG. So I'm very happy with this lot. Good price, good condition. Really happy with that. Now the other lot I bought is a train wreck. I'm not unhappy about it for reasons that you'll see in a second. I saw this lot of 5 low-grade romance comics. It was like $24, including shipping, $25. And one of them was a book I really wanted. So I didn't really look very closely at it. I wanted to buy it before someone else did. And it was one of those instant, I saw it, I bought it. And then I looked at it and I realized, well, there's 5 books in this lot. I already have 3 of them. And the one that I really wanted has a big spine split. So it was one of those things where if I didn't have these and these weren't doubles, then this would be a great buy. If that book didn't have a spine split, it would still be a great buy. As it is, it's still okay, because I'll show you the book that I'm talking about is not an easy one to get. But here are the doubles. Girls Romance is 86. These are all low grade, so it's likely that the ones I have are better than these, but this one's not that bad, so it's possible this is an upgrade. Same for this one, Young Romance 131. It's low grade. It's a Bonnie Taylor. But this one's got a hole punch through the cover. Yeah, so I have several Young Romance books that are really low grade, but most of the ones I have that are really bad are in the 150s and 160s. I got in a lot where they're like 1.5s. So I'm guessing the copy I already have of this is better. And then finally, this one's really beat up, and I just got a copy of this. It's Girls Romances 102, really bad spine split. So these would be going in the pile of stuff to trade or sell. Not the trade dollar bin trading challenge, because these aren't dollar bin books, but we'll see. I might give these away. I don't know. We'll have to see. But here's the 2 books that I didn't already have, and this is actually the nicest condition one in the group. And it is Heartthrobs 90 with a great cover. So very happy with this. Again, love the bright pink logo. So moody. The colors really pop. Even though this is a low grade copy, it's great colors. So I'm very happy with that. And then here's the book that caused me to hit the trigger immediately. Again, detached to the top staple with a spine split to the top staple. But it's Love Romances number 100. Now, these last issues of Love Romances with this logo and the 12 cent, the big circle, these are really hard to find. I think 106 was the last issue. And these issues from like 98 to 106 or 97 to 106 where they switched to this logo, These are really hard to find. Kirby is one of the artists. He did the cover, of course. This is cover dated July 62. So this is one of the books that ended up getting canceled to make way for the Marvel Universe, because they could only put out 8. They had a limited number of slots that they could put out. So when they wanted to do new superhero books, they had to cancel the old books, like the romance books. And so this was one of the books. 106 was the last issue. Sure enough, yeah, here's a Kirby story. Just checking to see. There's another Kirby story. There's 3 Kirby stories in here. Weird inking. It's got to be Coletta. Oh my gosh. This first story. Jeez. I think the whole book's by Kirby, but the inking is so bizarre in the first story that I honestly didn't even recognize this as Kirby. And those of you who know Kirby know just how difficult that is to pull off. Really interesting. It's hard to show because the book is so rough. But let me see if I can do it here. Here's the splash page. Right? It's Kirby pencils. I'm almost sure of it now the more I look at it. But my goodness, the inking. I don't know if it's Coletta or what. But anyway, Love Romance is 100. So between the Heartthrobs 90 and this, even with the spine split, I think in terms of money, I'm coming out at least even and maybe a little bit ahead. I think even in this condition, I could probably sell this for $25 or $30 by itself. I'm not going to. This is, I don't really collect the Atlas romance, but this is an interesting exception because it's not Atlas, right? It's Marvel romance. It's one of the very few romance books that Marvel published when they canceled all of these titles to make way for the superhero books. This was the last one that survived. So there's a couple issues of teenage romance that came out right around the time of Fantastic Four #1, but this one actually lasted again until 106. I think it might have been bi-monthly, so it might have lasted up until the end of 62 or into 63. So these I'm interested in. Like, these are a curiosity. They're really hard to find. So I'm very excited for this. Let's see what we got next. All right, finally, let's close this out with, you guessed it, even more romance. Actually got a little bit of pre-code romance mixed in here. Got a lot that I was really happy to win. I'll show you these 5 books. That were basically about $8 each after shipping was included. And I was really excited because it included some cool stuff like this. So, Young Romance, number 79, October 1955. One of the first post-code issues of Young Romance. You can tell by the cover that Kirby, I think, has just left the book, but Joe Simon is still on as editor and writer. Really cool. Still has the classic logo. Still has the prize logo. So really cool transitional period for the series. I have a few from this era that are a little bit after this in the 80s, but Young Romance 79. It's a pretty nice, lower grade but nice solid shape. So very excited for that. The other 4 issues are Young Love, and one of them is my first issue of the original Young Love series. This is pre-code. Here it is, Young Love number 61, September 1954. Now, originally Young Love's logo was a lot like the Young Romance because they were sister books, but in the mid-50s they changed it to this sort of blocky style, which is interesting. It doesn't feel 50s at all to me, but it is mid-50s, and you can just, the heft of it, I can just feel in my hand that it's a Golden Age book because it's got more pages and it's heavier, and again, pretty nice shape. And like I said, these are about $8 each after shipping, so very happy to get this. The next three are lower grade, but they're interesting books. Young Love, no number on the cover, and this is April-May 1960. I've been over this a few times before, so forgive me, I'll be real quick. Young Love has an interesting history and numbering history. Original series ran in the 50s up to about 1957. I forget what the last issue was, but it was around 74, 73, 74. Series was canceled, replaced by a new series called All for Love, which was a bi-monthly series, and All for Love ran from issues 1 to 17. Then when issue 18, they changed the title to Young Love Volume 2. And that ran until issue 38, when it was taken over by DC, kept the name and the numbering, and continued up to 126. So you've got Young Love Volume 1, number 1 to whatever it was, 73, 74. And then Volume 2 is numbers 18 to 126. This is right after it was renamed in 1960 from All for Love. So I think this is issue 19. It might be the second. You can see it still has that 50s Young Love logo. But we're going to jump ahead 2.5 years. April-May 1963. And here we have the new logo. These are lower grade. That one was kind of rough. This one's missing some pieces here. These are not quite as in demand or valuable as the issues that followed from DC, but they're harder to find. So I've noticed the prices are creeping up on these, even though there's less people looking for them. They're also harder to get. Again, they don't have the numbers on the covers. I forget. I think this is around issue 30 something. And then it looks like these were out of order, because here's one from December 1960, January 1961. So we see the transition to this logo here, a little bit nicer shape. Now these covers are not very dynamic. Minimal to no backgrounds, flat everything, flat characters, just not very dynamic at all. I like the cover design. The new logo is a big improvement, but they're just not that interesting in terms of what they're putting out there. They look almost like clip art, So I'm happy to get these though. So that era of the issues from 18 to 38 was kind of a blind spot for me. I think I only had one until now, so starting to chip away just a little bit at that. So that's it for the comics, but as promised, I've got a special, weird, sort of non-comics purchase, but comics related, that I'm really excited about. It's so cool. It's going to be hard to see, but I have in my hand not one, but two slides. Yes, two slides. And let's see, can you see? You can probably just barely see that there's a woman in the slides. Don't worry, I'm going to show you. I've been trying to figure out how to scan these on my scanner, and I haven't been able to do it. But I'm going to put up on the screen here. I got these on eBay, and boom. Now this version has watermarks from the seller on it, but that's fine. As you can see, these slides are from 1959, and they show a woman lounging in her backyard reading an issue of Falling in Love from DC Comics. I haven't looked yet to see what issue it is. But the slides are dated on them, and the date on the slide, I'm trying to read it here, is July 1959. So it shouldn't be too hard to figure out which issue it is she's reading. So I saw these on eBay as I was looking for issues of Falling in Love, and they're just so cool. There's a guy on one of the forums who has a huge collection of these photos of people reading comics and dressed in costumes and stuff like that. So I might reach out to him. As much as I think these are cool, they really would fit in probably better in his collection. But for now, just really neat, and just a really cool thing. I love those sort of artifacts, even if they're not comic related. But having the romance comics in it puts it over the top for me. So that's it for this time. Next time around, of course, we'll have another haul video in a couple weeks. Might be another store visit. I don't know. We'll see. I've got more comics on the way, more romance comics coming, more cool purchases. So who knows what's going to come up next. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.